Hello Bells Up Studio and welcome to today's 20-minute set, which is all about cardio. We're gonna have some very short burst intervals today, almost in a Tabata format. You're gonna be working 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off through a couple different movements or the same movements, just unilateral, so single side for these segments. You'll get a little bit of time to recover in between each of these sets and you'll see how that goes as we get through it. And you will need one moderate weight kettlebell today. I want you to base this on something that you could push press, jerk, or snatch. We're gonna start going through our warm-up. We're gonna practice body weight split squats to start each side because those are coming up in the program. We'll take an around the body pass and some pogo hops to get the blood flowing. So let's go ahead and take our body weight split squat. So come down to the floor with me and bring your right foot forward. We're gonna take your heel kind of close into your back knee and make sure that they're kind of in one line or your heel's just a little outside the knee. You're gonna think of trying to push through your front foot and stand all the way up with your shoulders over your hips. So we're just gonna take this up and down motion here, trying not to turn ourselves to the side too much. So just think straight down, straight up, and start connecting to pushing into the midsole of your foot and keeping your hips nice and forward. If you need to, bring your back foot to the outside just a little bit to make room for your hips to stay forward, go for it. This should feel a little bit like a lunge position, but a little bit shorter in your stance when you're in it. So we're just gonna go straight up and down here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and switch our foot. Push down your foot, and if you have no shoes on like I do, I want you to really think of trying to spread your toes out as best that you can here. So start at the bottom. We'll start in 3, 2, and 1. We'll take the other side. So just straight up and down, trying to find some balance here and seeing how much weight you can put into the front leg. So I want you to mostly feel this in the front leg. Some of you might feel a stretch in the hip flexor on the back leg side. That's all good. This is warming us up for this position, again, coming up later when we're gonna weight it. And try to, just like our lunges, not to hit yourself on the floor. I want smoothness straight up and down. You can even hover that back leg a little bit from the floor each time. We'll be here for 3, 2, and 1. I'm realizing my legs are pretty sore today. Split squats will get you no matter what. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go for a round the body pass. We're gonna do this about 20 seconds one direction, 20 seconds the other. You're gonna think of catching the bell with your opposite hand of the one that you start with, keeping the hips about, or the feet about hip width apart so they're not too wide. So when you start here, you're just gonna pass around your body, catch it. So it's just gonna help our shoulders relax a little bit and feels nice in the forearms a bit, in the core. So go ahead and start out here. You might feel this in your neck in good ways too, as the weight of the bell sort of pulls down the muscles and the weight of the arms here. So just keep moving in circles. We're gonna switch our direction and go the opposite way of the one that you're doing now on our next set. And again, make sure you're trying to stand up tall, look straight ahead. You don't have to go super fast. You can make sure to grab the handle in the right spot. Let's switch your side, 3, 2, and 1. So you should just be grabbing it on that open space towards the side that you're moving. So I'm moving to my left. My left hand has that spot because I'm grabbing the right and the right, the left and the left, pushing my feet down, keeping my booty tight, and just kind of gently sway your hips with your bod. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently set your belt down. And for your next set, we're gonna take pogo hops, but we're gonna do them in a split stance today. So we're gonna have our left foot forward to start, right foot behind us a little bit, and we're gonna think of pushing into the floor to rebound and move up, a little bit like you would imagine a trampoline being. Your feet can be flexed here, and again, you can do this shoes or barefoot. You're gonna think of small little rebounds today. So we're not going for big hops, we're going for sort of that medium level. So go ahead and bring your feet into place. The right foot is just behind the left. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna start here for 20 seconds. Just trying to be a little bit pliable and think of that rebound as the thing that's moving us up, not actively bending our knees and jumping. So we're pushing, pushing, pushing into the floor. Arms can just stay at your sides. Maybe you need a little more support of sports bra like I do here. You can go ahead, grab the girls if you're there. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna switch. Oh, hi Lola. I guess I've gotten some good feedback. Everybody loves Lola here, so we'll finish up this warm-up, then I'll probably move her out of the frame. She's like, why are you jumping right now? We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you for being a good guard dog. Thank you. Okay, we're good now. No more jumping. Okay, go ahead, get your bell out. It might be the one you use for the warm-up, and we're gonna start our first segment. Our first 20-20 interval today, we're going to take swing cleans, and we're just gonna practice those swing cleans alternating each side. So you might get 2 to 3 reps. You can start to think of this like a continuation of our warm-up. You won't set the bell down until we finish the interval, but you only have 10 seconds to gather yourself before we go into the next side. So just make sure that you're ready to start again. You're doing each side 3 times in this set. Nice little 3 minutes. So let's go ahead, get it started. I want your bell in front of you, and you want to think again of trying to make your grip kind of light, letting your elbow hug your body versus coming out, because we don't want the kettlebell banging against our wrist at all in swing cleans. If you have multiple bells, you can go up to kind of a heavier size if you're practicing this and want to get a little more meaty swing clean out of this segment than the weight that you would use to snatch. So let's go ahead and start out. Clock is on in 3, 2, and 1. So you have 20 seconds here. We're just going to catch and place, squeeze the glutes, let it drop straight down your body. So remember again, this is a bit of a continuation of the warm-up. We're going to be doing some hinging later. It also could be some nice practice for you with your clean with a little bit heavier of a bell. I'm going to hold it for just a second before I drop, just to make sure that I'm really connecting all the dots here in this movement. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. 10-second reprieve. We're gonna go ahead and go to our other hand. Get ready to clean your bell in 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna take this one again from the floor. I'm thinking of letting that elbow just drop down my body. See how close you can keep your hand to your body without hitting your chest. So some of you might need to bring it out just a little bit more. My grip is loose as I drop. The only time it's tight is when I catch here and at the bottom. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. We have another set of swing cleans. On your first side, you only have 2 more sets here in our 20-second intervals. 3, 2, and 1. So hips go back. I'm trying again to keep that grip really light. This is one that sort of moves over the hand, one of the more less hand-friendly, I guess, kettlebell moves that you do. So if your grip is too tight, your hands might get kind of ripped up sometimes, or you might get, again, that little hit. We don't want that. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Chill for a second. Shake it out. Stay kind of loose. We're going to go with your left side. Same exact thing. Roll your shoulders back. Clock is on here. 3, 2, and 1. Heart rate should start coming up just a bit in these swing cleans here, just extending our little warm up and working on some skill. That's a good way, it's a good time actually to practice skills that can be a little more challenging like these cleans. I think this is one of the more challenging kettlebell movements there is. We'll go 3, 2, and rest. You have 1 more set each side. Just because of the timing of it, timing your breath to when you pick it up, the grip switches, it's a little harder to master that than the swing. We've got 3, 2, and 1. You might disagree. You can tell me in the comments which you think is harder, the clean or the swing. But this lightness we have to have here and this drop of the hips, keeping it close, can be really challenging. Breath will be out as my hips extend, not as I catch. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. You have 1 more set of these swing cleans before we take a small break and move on to our next thing. You're here in 3, 2, and 1. Hips go back. You're gonna get about a minute in between your sets of all of the movements that we're practicing today in this 20-minute segment. I think we're doing 5 when it comes down to it, so we have quite a few more to do. Keep syncing your breath with your hip extension. 3, 2, bell drops down. Okay, we have about a minute until we're gonna go into our next set where we'll be working on push presses or jerks. You're gonna do the same exact situation that you just did for cleans. You're gonna switch between your sides every 20 seconds. Try to aim maybe for 3, maybe for 5. If you're doing the jerks, those take a little more time. You might hit 2, you might hit 3, depending on the weight that you are using. You can for sure use the same kettlebell for this entire class, or you can go up weights or down weights as you get into the next things. After we do the push press jerk segment, we're gonna go into single rack split squats. You knew that one was coming. And then we'll finish with snatches, and I have some alternatives for you if snatching is not in your wheelhouse here. So Break time is almost done. You have about 20 seconds, and we're gonna start that push press to jerk segment. Go ahead, roll your shoulders back. Remember, you're switching sides each interval. We're doing 3 sets each side of your body. You can pick the bell up through a swing clean or a dead stop clean, whichever you prefer. Clock is on here in 3, 2, and 1. So I'll start with the push press. Bend, push, pull my bell down. If you're doing this program, you have seen push presses many times up until now. You have also seen jerks. I highly recommend that if you don't know how to do a jerk and it's the first time you're ever seeing this, that you take the push press. It's a little bit easier to master here. 3, 2, and 1. The jerk is a little more complicated with timing. I am gonna do that in the second round, like a little sandwich push press jerk. You could also change it up as you go, whatever you're feeling like. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. Second side. Practicing push press. Think of maintaining your lockout, pulling it down. We're gonna bend our knees, push into the center part of our feet. Arm should go straight up and catch at the top. We wanna think of a strong catch at the top here. We don't wanna be loose in our arm, and we wanna think of our hips still helping us, thrusting a bit forward to lift up the belly. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. If your bell feels a little light for you, you can work on going for a little more robust amount of reps. We're gonna hit your next set in 3, 2, and 1. If it's a little heavy, maybe you take a little less with your reps and give it a little hold at the top to catch. Jerk, I'm gonna bend my knees forward and drop under my bell. So we like to say dip, drive, and dip. So we're catching the bell under us instead of shooting it above us like the push press. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Shake your hands out just a little bit. A little like, this one's like a little cardio appetizer, this 20-minute set today. Let's hit your move of choice on your opposite side. 3, 2, and 1. It really doesn't matter in this class today if you are totally even in your rep counts on these single side movements. I want you just to move fluidly and try to really work on your form here and your technique. Sometimes our left feels better than our right. Relax in 3, 2, and 1, and vice versa. Some movements might require a little more brain power, a little more time when you're newer to them. That's okay. We've got 3, 2, and 1. This isn't a massive workout today, regards of rep counts and time and all that stuff. It's only 20 minutes, so if you're a little bit off, it's all good. When I come up with my bell, I'm thinking of my palm turning slightly forward and catching at the top. 3, 2, and 1. You have one more set here, and then we're gonna move on to our next thing. Okay, here we go. Clock is on. Final set in 3, 2, and 1. Our shoulders should be feeling pretty warm, right? Shoulders, core, maybe a little booty if you're not feeling cheek squeeze at this top position as you thrust. I want you to give it a little bit more. I want you to think of driving your feet into the floor to help you lift. 3, 2, and 1. Guys, you are halfway through the set. Let's take our minute rest, and you can choose again to use this same bell. You can choose to go a little heavier when we take on split squats in our next set. I'm gonna break down a bit how to get into your split squat so we're set up for success, changing our sides because it is a pretty tight switch. We have 2 options for our split squats. You can hold your bell in your rack position here, and that foot will stay forward. You're just gonna go straight up and down, as many reps as you can do like your body is an elevator each side. You'll switch your bell on to the next side as we move through this, or you can hold the bell goblet style at your chest, just switching your feet each time. Body weight is also there for you if this movement is a bit problematic, and you can always take a lunge or a staggered stance deadlift with your bell opposite of your front leg side if you need a modification for the split squat. So we're gonna start this in about 15 seconds. Remember, we're gonna do each side 3 times. So let's start on the side that you have been starting on for all your other movements. Just keep it consistent so we remember and, you know, appease our OCD here with our sets. Clock is on. I just asked you guys to not do that with your last set, but we're back to it. Clock is on here in 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna clean my bell. I'm gonna find that position where my back knee is tracking close to my front foot. If you get a little bit off, all good. I want you to be in a position where you can move kind of quick because this should not feel heavy. 3, 2, and 1. Remember what I said, you wanna start getting ready for your next side. You have 5 seconds if you need to clean early. 3, 2, and 1. Get into that position. We're gonna go straight up and down. Maybe it's easy for you to hold it at your chest and get those fast-paced reps in this 20-second set. You have just about 10 seconds left. My left leg is feeling so much more burny than my right. 3, 2, step all the way up and then bring your bell down. Option to not do this again with the weight if you need that today. Favorite this class. You can do it again if you really like the format and try to challenge yourself in different ways if you do it multiple times. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So here it would be at my chest, and I'll come into that position just a little shorter than a lunge. We're staying in this static hold, not moving our feet, trying to keep the shoulders over the hips. You can also most certainly 3, 2, and 1 add a squat wedge and elevate your foot on your front side. You could also do that with a weight plate. Just make sure you're cleaning your bell before you step onto the wedge. Again, you don't have a lot of time in this set, so just be aware of that. 3, 2, and 1. Bell comes up to the chest. We switch it out. I'm dreading the left so much today. Must have had a really good leg set this week. Try not to snap your knee back like that. When you stand, I want it, again, fluid, smooth. You've got 3, 2, and 1. So we don't want to stand up and do this type of thing, like moving backwards. Body weight, goblet, or racked. Clock is on here. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to say body weight for you guys that might be taking this variation because there is no shame in this one. If you're new to this, if you've done a lot of split squats this week, if you're like, my legs are not into this right now, try this one. It's plenty challenging if your positioning's right. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Shake those legs out. Remember, this is a cardio set today. I care more about speed and getting your heart rate up than how heavy you can move a weight unless you can move it fast. 3, 2, opposite side last time. Just try to keep it moving for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake out those legs, rest. Hopefully you got a little burny in your quads there. We have one more set to do. And those of you that know how to kettlebell snatch, you probably know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna have you take snatches on your right side, then snatches on your left side, or vice versa if you wanna switch out which way you start. If you're like, oh shit, I can't do that, you're gonna sub the first movement for a hand-to-hand swing or a goblet clean. So you're gonna clean your bell up, practice here, or you'll start in your swing position and just do individual single arm swings, passing the bell between sides each rep. Those are your options for interval 1. Interval 2 is a full-on plank. That's it. You're just doing 3 rounds. So if you're snatching, again, an opportunity to try to hit maybe 8 reps, maybe 10 reps, maybe go a little heavier with this one if you really want to push it because you have the opportunity to do about 30 each side. This could be kind of like a mini snatch test if you want it to be. You're getting up in that 3-minute mark of snatching. So more power to you here. Whatever poison you want today, you pick it. We're gonna start this set in just about 15 seconds, and we're gonna go into our snatches, our goblet clean, or hand-to-hand swing, and then plank if you're taking that variation. Okay, bell should be in front of you or directly under you if you're taking those goblet cleans. We're going to start your snatches, hand-to-hand swings, or goblet cleans in about 5 seconds, so get ready to come into your back position. I want a strong launch. You're staying on the same side for this first set. We've got 3 of them to do to finish class. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So you could take these snatches pretty fast, really trying to get down quickly, or you can give it a hold at the top and work on a little less speed if these are newer to you. So I want you to, again, take the variation that works best for where you're at today. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you're not snatching, you should be planking next round with your shoulders over your wrist, your booty nice and tight, pushing your heels back. Snatches, we got another side, and then I'm gonna demo the other stuff. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Try your best to match your sides on this set. Just because we're going for a little speed here, we're trying to finish out strong. We're trying to finish out this set with some pretty high heart rate moves here. We really want to work it and see how consistent we can be. 3, 2, and 1. Hand-to-hand swings. We've got snatches. We've got goblet cleans. Options here. I'll take the goblet clean this round. Let's go for it. 3, 2, and 1. Goblet clean can teach us the position of the snatch because we're having to kind of operate a little more vertically with our movement, but still in a hip hinge. So we're not squatting right. We're not keeping our chest all the way up. We're sitting our hips back a bit, but keeping our chest up a bit. 3, 2, and 1. All of these movements, except the hand-to-hand swing, should feel a little bit like you're jumping straight up in the air. Full plank or second side snatches. Let's go ahead, hit it. Clock is on here in 3, 2, and 1. No matter how many planks I've done in my life, I still manage to measure out my elbows by grabbing both of them and getting my hand shoulder width. Push down into the floor. Push your feet back if you're here with me. Squeeze your butt. Maybe lift your chest a little, but don't let your core go. You're in this plank for 3, 2, and 1. We got one more set to go. Snatches, I want game face on for this last set. I want you not to go down in reps here. I want you to keep your speed really strong and the same. I'm gonna hit hand-to-hand swings. Here we go, 3, 2, and go for it. So the hand-to-hand swing is teaching us the pop from the hip, the speed, and a bit of the timing that we need to really own ballistic movements, which of course the snatches. 3, 2, and we rest here. Take a break. This is your last 10-second break before you are done with your set today. Snatches, planks. You're on. Here we go. Clock is on. 3, 2, and 1. One of the best ways to get some cardiovascular work from kettlebells, even if your weight is a little on the lighter side, you're moving explosively with power. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Bells Up Studio, your 20-minute class is done. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you in your next class in this program or in another Bells Up Studio class, hopefully. Remember, whatever you do, get real, get strong, get your bells up. Bye.